What goes on, Master Duel fans? James here again. When it comes to learning new decks upon the curve, now that it's officially Ranked Duel season, we are all about exploring new archetypes to learn in any shape or form, in any capacity. Now, for some reason, in Master Duel, one of the archetypes throughout this whole entire deck list at the time this is recorded, for some reason, it was not related at all. But the archetype to discuss it would be Deep Sea. Deep Sea is a series of water sea serpents, and in order for you to play the game with the water sea serpents of Deep Sea, they are all about hand information as well as being special summoned to mill cards just to do certain things in terms of the main deck wise. And then to go over the Deep Sea archetype one by one, we're going to start backwards and then we will work our way up through the replays. And of course, as a disclaimer, all Deep Sea cards are Water Sea Serpent, while Deep Sea Aria is a normal spell, and then their Deep Sea Synchros are also Water Sea Serpent. So no need to go over the type and attribute when they all share it. And of course, they do have a field spell as well, so let's go over it. We're going to start backwards, and then we will work our way up. Deep Sea Artisan. Level 1, no attack, 500 defense. Upon being added from deck or graveyard to your hand by an effect of a water monster, by revealing this, look at your opponent's hand. Basically, this is just to tell you, can't confirm whether if it's either no harm, no foul, or you're basically screwed based off from how many hand traps or board breakers do they have. And we'll go over the special summon effect of the new support throughout the course of the archetype archive. Deep Sea Sentry. Level 2, 400 attack, 2000 defense. If this card is sent to the graveyard just because of a water monster's effect, you can make your opponent banish one card from their hand face up until the end phase. Deep Sea Minstrel. Level 3, 1200 attack, 1500 defense, and Minstrel happens to be a tuner. You can discard herself and one water monster, look at your opponent's hand, and banish one card from their hand face up until the end phase. And just like Deep Sea Artisan can confirm about what they got in hand, and she lets you hand rip. And because you know what your opponent's hand is looking like, you get to set up your board accordingly. Now, for the Deep Sea support, if they are special summon, you can send, depends on how many, based off from the Deep Sea support card. The Artisan, send the top card, target one level 4 or lower water from your graveyard that's not Artisan, special it out, but effects are negated. Deep Sea Sentry special summon effect, send the top 2 just to target one level 4 or lower water from your graveyard that's not Sentry, add it back to your hand. And then Minstrel's special summon effect, send the top 3, target one level 4 or lower water monster in your graveyard that's not Minstrel, place it on the top or bottom of the deck. Deep Sea Diva. We all know what's up about the history of Deep Sea Diva. If anybody has been playing mermaids in any shape or form from back in the day, Deep Sea Diva was the reason she had to go from limited, semi-limited, and so on, just because the card is broke. Level 2, 200 attack, 400 defense. Not once per turn. When this card is normal summon, you can special 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent from your deck, Deep Sea Diva included, which is the reason why she was limited for back in the day, or even semi-limited in TCG land way back when. And that causes massive 1-card insane water setups. Deep Sea Aria, normal spell, hard once on the activation. Banish 1 water from your graveyard, add 1 level 4 or lower Sea Serpent from deck to hand. Basically, you got about the majority of the whole entire Sea Serpents, aka Deep Seas and Atlanteans. That's not Poseidra, because Poseidra is 7 or higher, and then Moonlit Glacier is level 8 or higher, so the 2 beefy ones do not count. Magellanica, the Deep Sea City. Field spell, of course. This card's name is always treated as Umi. Upon activation, you can place 1 water monster from your deck on top of your deck, basically stacking the deck as the guarantee next card. Once per turn, you can target 1 water monster you control, increase its level by 1 or 2 until the end of this turn, even if it leaves. And then once per turn during your main phase, if you special summon a water synchro, doesn't gotta be synchro summon, but special summon a water synchro, you can look at your opponent's hand, and if you do, banish 1 card from it face up until the end phase. Deep Sea Extra Deck. Deep Sea Repetiteur. Level 5, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. Deep Sea Diva as the specific material, which of course Deep Sea Diva, along with 1 or more non-tuners to make it as a level 5. So once again, level 5, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. And then once per turn, as a quick effect, you can discard 1 level 4 or lower water monster. This card gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. If this synchro summon card is sent to your graveyard, you can target 1 level 5 or higher water monster in your graveyard that's not Repetitua herself, special it out in defense, and the turn you do this, you cannot special for the rest of this turn except waters. And obviously, we don't care because the whole entire list of monsters are literally nothing but waters, which is nice. Deep Sea Prima Donna. Level 7, 1500 attack, 2700 defense. Way too large of a heavy defender of a level 7. Generic level 7 synchro, that is. Your opponent cannot target a synchro monster that use this card as material within monster effects. To get around that thing, they still have spells and trap effects in terms of targeting. You can target one of your banished opponent's banished cards added to your hand, or special summon 1 level 4 or lower water monster straight from your deck, and if you do, add that target to their hand. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how it's sent to the graveyard or how she's sent, you can target 1 banished card from either banished pile, shuffle it back into the deck. Yeah, nevertheless, let's get into the archetype, archive, and feature matches of the realist purpose of the deck. First off, calming music for one. And second of all, there it is, you guys. The power of Atlanteans. In order for you to play the game with this deck, they are all about being sent to the graveyard just because of a water monster's effect, which of course, the majority of them share the similar effects of when they are being sent to the graveyard just because of water monster effects. So, archetype, archive of Atlanteans. Atlanteans are a series of water sea serpents. And when it comes to a good pilot learning Atlanteans, they tend to swarm the field and somehow put up a unique usages of certain effects from other water monsters. Archetype, archive of Atlanteans. You have one spell, 7 effects, and 1 vanilla. We're gonna start backwards and then we will work our way up. The vanilla Atlantean Pikeman. Level 2, 1400 attack, no defense. Neptibus, the Atlantean Prince. Level 1, 800 attack, no defense. You can send one Atlantean monster from deck to graveyard that isn't Neptibus, which is the cost, by the way, insane. Add one Atlantean card, spell included, from deck to hand that's not Neptibus. Heavy Infantry. Level 2, no attack, 1600 defense. Way too large for level 2. During your main phase, you can normal summon one level 4 lower sea serpent monster in addition to your normal summon set. So basically this is the double summon of level 4 lower sea serpents. Atlantean Marksman. Level 3, 1400 attack, no defense. When this card does battle damage, you can send, or not send, special one level 4 lower Atlantean sea serpent from your deck that's not Marksman. So basically, it's any of these Atlanteans whose name is not Marksman nor Poseidra. Atlantean Dragoons. When it comes to the history of Atlantean Dragoons, back in the day, this card was limited in TCG only because searching a water, well, sea serpent in general specifically, that isn't Dragoons, is not a once per turn card. Hence why mermaids tend to abuse that effect a lot. And it went from semi-limited and then slowly went back to 3. When it comes to Dragoons, level 4, 1800 attack, no defense. All your level 3 or lower sea serpents can direct attack. And when it comes to they are being sent to the graveyard just because of a water monster effect, Neptibus, this one lets you target one Atlantean monster in your graveyard that's not Neptibus special it out. So this is your Monster Reborn of Atlanteans. Heavy Infantry and Marksman target and destroy cards. Heavy Infantry does face-ups, while Marksman only targets set, aka face down, for destruction, while Dragoons searches you literally any Sea Serpent that's not Dragoons from deck to hand. And Infantry, Marksman, Dragoon, neither of those are hard once per turns. Atlantean Attack Squad. Level 3, 1400 attack, no defense. Gains 800 attack while you control a face-up fish, sea serpent, or aqua outside of attack squad. Legendary Atlantean Tridon. Level 3, 1600 attack, 800 defense. Not once per turn, you contribute this card and one Sea Serpent monster, special summon one Poseidra, the Atlantean Dragon, from your hand or deck. Then all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack. And speaking of Poseidra, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The boss of Atlanteans. Level 7, Water Sea Serpent, of course. 2800 attack, 1600 defense. You contribute 3 level 3 or lower water monsters, special this guy from hand or graveyard, and if you do, well technically if you do, return all spells and traps on the field to the hand. So basically it's Giant Trunade, and if 3 or more cards are returned to the hand by this effect, all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack for each. Biggest debuff, if you ask me. And last but not least, Call of the Atlanteans. Quick play spell, even though the card doesn't say once per turn, but there is a harsh restriction. The turn you use Call of the Atlanteans, you cannot special summon other monsters. Literally, that's the harsh restriction. The case is, target 3 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monsters in your graveyard. Special summon all 3 of them. Basically, this is the Sea Serpent Soul Charge. To get around that restriction, basically use this card on your opponent's turn. And with that being said, let's get to the show on the road. Well, dive on down throughout the entire season 37. Normal Infantry, Extra Normal Diva, Diva for Neptibus, Neptibus sending Dragoons as cost for Call of the Atlanteans, Dragoons, adding Minstrel. Mind if I take a look? Okay, can confirm. No harm, no foul. Sword so tangy as it seems. So it's Blackout, Vessel, Flawless, Arch Nemesis Protoss, and Long Yuan. Rip out Protoss. Dragoons for Mulan Glacier. Back in the day, this card was absolutely broken because hand loops are a thing. The case about Mulan Glacier is that just like every other elemental lord that they share the exact same thing, can't be normal summon set, must be special from hand, no other ways, by having exactly 5 of whatever attribute based off from the respective attribute according to the elemental lords. Since this is Mulan Glacier, he is all about exactly 5 waters. The case is, If special summon, discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand or their entire hand if less than 2. And just like the majority of the elemental lords, or like if not all of them, once they leave in any shape or form while face up, skip the battle phase of your next turn. Send it to for Miss Starboy. And when it comes to Miss Starboy, we all know what's up about Miss Starboy. Just like every Link monster who is all about the attribute buff and debuff, and then recurring whatever attribute from grade to head. Since this is Miss Starboy buffs up water by 500, and he also debuff fire monsters by 400, and upon being destroyed, get a water from grade to hand, self included. Special Moonling Glacier, Flawless, Vessel. 2 waters for Coral. Coral, bring back Deep Sea. We lose the battle phase of next turn, but the trade-off is Chen Ying. Get the Protos back. Blackout. Long Yuan, discard its copy. And then Protos in hand. Goes for Long Yuan Synchro. Burn for 12. Call of the Atlanteans. Long Yuan Synchro. Now, in this situation, I could imperm the Long Yuan for the sake of negate the banishing and burn effect, but at the same time, we got Chen Ying on the field. So if either of us were to banish something, Chen Ying is going to take advantage of it. Banish the call. I take the 12. Minstrel, Infantry, Neptibus. Take another 12. And then Minstrels, Mills, Magellanica, Trap Trick, and Evenly Matched. Chen Ying. And then Imperm to make my monster stay alive. And then Sword Soul Tenyi scooped. Now, before we hop on to the second replay, I did a little test fixing in terms of what's missing for the water monsters. So I figured, you know what? Let's take it to the next level a bit. Tidal, Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. We all know what's up with Tidal ever since Dragon Rulers. Guitar, Gernard's, Duonegus. Honorary Water Sea Serpent as a level 3, 1500 attack, 700 defense. Upon being special summoned, you can banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of water monsters you control. The more you have, the more they banish. You can target one level 4 or lower water you control, increase its level by its original level. You can banish this from your grave. One water monster anywhere on the field gains 100 attack for each currently banished monster until the end of this turn. And with that being said, let us showcase to the next replay. And this next matchup with his hand extremely solid. Normal Neptibus, toss out Dragoons, getting Dragoons, because apparently We already got Call in hand. Minstrel, search all from Dragoons. Mind if I take a look? This is a busted hand for one. Double Apprentice, Mahad, Raigeki, and Soul Servant. Banish the Raigeki just in case. Dragoons, getting Poseidra. Title, discard. Toss out Infantry. Get the Raigeki back. Top decks prep for Illusion. Illusion. Get the Rod. Putting back Mahad, as far as I can imagine. Normal Rod. Getting Dark Magical Circle. Activated. Dark Burning Magic. I believe it's... Okay, discarding. Discarding Soul Servant for Apprentice. Getting Dark Magician. Rod over Neptibus. Apprentice for 2000. And phase, Call of the Atlanteans. Minstrel, Infantry, Neptibus. No triggers of Minstrel. Neptibus, toss out Dragoons. Getting Call of the Atlanteans, Dragoon for Deep Sea Diva. And that's the reason why I said no triggers off from Minstrel from my opponent's turn, because we needed exactly 5 waters for the sake of Moulin Glacier. Dark Magician, Apprentice. Miss Starboy, buff up the waters. Normal Deep Sea, special guitar. Guitar banishing 5 cards. Double Draco Utopian Aura. Maxi Ash Magician Navigation. Synchro into Cheng Ying. Title effect. Banish to 2. Special Cheng Ying. Banish 2 more. And then Dark Magician Scoop. And last but not least on this replay, I felt like Deep Sea Atlantean just doesn't do enough. So I figured, what would be the last card missing to make this deck even more perfected? Water Barrier Statue, as in no special except waters. And last but not least, with this hand, insane hand. Deep Sea, Special Infantry, Extra Normal Prince. Prince, toss out Dragoon, getting Call. Dragoon, getting Minstrel. Mind if I take a look? Oh, Tier Cash. Banishing the Rhino Heart, okay. Nasty hand this is. So originally it's this starting 5, and now race off for the sake of Fenrir or Unicorn, I imagine, in search. Reinhardt, toss out a tier, and then Keto for the recovery, which is also gross. Basically, busted hand. Banish the Reinhardt. Tier Cash. Crime, Maxi, and Starfrost. So let's see. Crime. Target one of your banished tier monsters. Well, that counters it. Crazy. Grab back the Rhino Heart, off from tier cash specifically. Poseidra, tribute to 3. Prince, bring back Dragoon. Infantry, kill off tier cash. Tier cash. Grief and Poly for Grief. No banished tier trap. Coral Anemone on board. Minstrel. Mandatory effect of infantry. Put Dragoons on top. Goes for area. Area steal tier cash. Mill 3 of my deck. Dragoons, Spiritual Water Art, Aoi, and Forbidden Chalice. And speaking of the Spiritual Water Art, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Normal trap, and it is searchable off from Awakening of the Possessed, Gigabyte. When it comes to Spiritual Water Art AoE, should be 1 water, look at your opponent's hand, send 1 card from their hand to the grave. Once again, even more hand information. Magellanic, top deck Deep Sea just in case something goes down. Set 1, Rhino Heart back to hand. Pressure Planet for Fenrir. Special Fenrir. Tear Scream. Rhino Heart, normal. Scream is the last thing happen. Double Unicorn and Meta Noise for Meta Noise. 1 tier monster from graveyard, get into hand. Not just yet. And then realistically, I should have or opponent should have did Fenrir, search for Unicorn or Rise Heart first before the milling comes up. And then Rhino Heart toss out Halfness. Halfness. Meta Noise. Getting Halfness. I think that outright hold? I think that misses the Fusion Summon opportunity because Halfness was supposed to stay in the graveyard upon the chain occurrence. But if this chain did not happen like this, the Fusion Shogun of a tier monster or any fusion monster really, none of this was supposed to happen. Fenrir, banish area face down, taking down tier cash. Rhino Heart for 1700. Cross Sheath. Uh-oh. Vicious Astraloud. Bring back Maxi. SP Little Knight. Banishing the field spell, which did its job already. Call of the Atlanteans for Minstrel, Guitar, and Prince. Only Guitar, no triggers of Minstrel because we need our Deep Sea Diva drawn for the sake of next turn. Halfness. Milling off Tearlament Scream, Tearlament Soliac, and Trick Clown. So Scream, get a tier trap. Soliac, get a tier monster. Both searchers. And then Performance Trick Clown. We all know what's up with Trick Clown ever since Shadow Lightsworn days. Level 4, Light Spellcaster, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. Hard once on Performance Trick Clown. If it's sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how it's sent to the graveyard, you can target one performing each monster in your graveyard, self included, special it out, but its stats become 0, then you take 1000 damage. And then the banished cards. Scream, Max C, and Tear Sharon, who is still at 2, by the way. Also, love the glossed out Sharon. Trick Clown. Special itself. And then Soliek, getting another Sharon. Prince, toss out Infantry, getting Call of the Atlanteans once more. Infantry, kill off Pressure Planet. Poseidra, Tribute 3. Prince, for Infantry, Poseidra. Screen. Foolish Goods, King of the Swamp, and Ash. No tier name on site. Return screen. Special Infantry, Extra Normal Deep Sea, and then SP, making the girls escape. Deep Sea for another Deep Sea. Regular Normal Tridon. Deep Sea Prima Donna. Return the SP to the extra deck for the sake of Barrier Statue of the Torrent. And the funny thing is, this is versus tier elements. So the only water monsters that can make a clean getaway in terms of special summon will be Rhinoheart, Tier Cash, and Rukalos. So unless if they got ways to keep on playing the game with the water tier monsters, they're just stuck. Poseidra over Hopness, Prima Donna over Cross Sheet, Torrent over Trick Clown, Miss Starboy, Prima Donna to shuffle up a banished card, and then Cash Tier Elements Player Scoop. So guys, that's gonna do it. And once again, have a happy new year to everybody, and have a happy format in advance coming up or whenever this video is going up. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we will catch you guys at the start of 2025.